Daniel Suárez, he got to take the win. And overall, Ben, I feel like the cars, they seem to do better at this track. We saw a good amount of passing, side by side racing. Overall, did it appear to you as well that these cars from NASCAR Mexico Series were better suited for the Los Angeles Coliseum?
Yeah, I saw my editor in chief at LastCar.info, Brock Beard, was saying the same thing as well. From what he was seeing from the race, I think that, it looked like another particular series did, just not that long ago, a couple of decades ago, if you will. And I think it's ultimately a sign that what the Mexico Series has right now is very good, but what the Cup Series has right now, in terms of this next gen car, still needs a lot of work when it comes to a short track package. I think they've made a little bit of progress, but it still clearly is not as good as it could be, or as good as what the Mexico Series was doing last night, because they put on a great show in addition to the entire weekend. And I think certainly justified bringing them up here for the Clash of the Coliseum. It was certainly a great race, and I would agree. I think the cars were a little bit better suited for the track than the next gen Cup Series cars were. But some great racing. Daniel Suárez, again, congratulations to him. I know it was a disappointment not to make the main event for the Cup Series, but he certainly made up for it by going back to his roots and the series that means so much to him. And he has credited several times, and credited even last night, for saying this is what allowed me to take that step forward and come to America to race in the Cup Series. And great to see him getting back to his roots and winning the Clash, or the Mexico Series race last night of a Clash weekend. I think it was great to see.
It was great to see Daniel Suárez taking home that beautiful trophy. I think it was great to see on television. Granted, it was on Fox Sports 2, the Mexico Series on television for the American audience. And we know there's the Mexico Series. We know there's the Canadian Series as well, too. Should we see more Mexico Series, Canadian Series integrated with the Cup Series? I could have just pictured the Canadian Series at New Hampshire, at Dover, the Northeast. Mexico Series 9 years ago, they were in Phoenix. I think they should be a bit more. Do you agree with that idea?
Yeah, well, we've seen Pinty's in New Hampshire in the not too distant past, and obviously great to see Mexico this weekend in Los Angeles. But yeah, I think those series are definitely something that need a little bit more spotlight, need a little bit more attention. To be honest with you, Joe, I wish we could cover them a little bit more on the Grid Live Encore show. It's just that they don't get as much press. I got to be honest with you, I was trying to find the results sheet from last night's race, and it took me a while, just through Googling it and trying to find it on NASCAR's website to actually get the PDF of the results, because unfortunately, the websites here in the States, at least, even on NASCAR's own website, it's a little bit difficult to navigate and try to get to those results, at least from my experience. So it's a little bit tougher to follow the series, and tougher, therefore, to report on them. But, the Pinty Series, I think, puts on some phenomenal racing. I think it's proof that NASCAR works on street circuits in the right circumstances. And like we just said, the Mexico Series put on a great show last night at the Coliseum. So there's some great racing and some great talent in these series as well. Ruben Garcia Jr., somebody that made some headlines in the United States, won a couple of what's now ARCA Menard Series East races a handful of years ago. He had a great run going. Unfortunately, got shuffled towards the back there at the end. Max Gutierrez, who has made some Truck Series starts, won a very dramatic ARCA East race himself a couple of years ago. Good to see him back out there as well. So there are a lot of names in this series that I think, some fans might recognize, even from some starts that they made here in America. But it would be great to see us be able to find a way to give them a little bit more coverage on a yearly basis. And I think one thing that would go a long way in doing that is bringing them to the United States to host, whether it's an exhibition race or a points race, introduce the American audience to them and tell their stories. I think that would go a long way in doing them some favors for those two series.